Hello, Rams fans! The news just keeps coming, and with everything that has happened over the last few hours, it makes my heart want the start of the regular season games even more. I know Jared versus departure may still leave some fans feeling sad, but that's life. The world of business and football is full of things like that. I'm about to tell you more details about all this buzz surrounding Aaron Donald, and much more. Before we continue, make sure you've already hit the like button. But only do that if you've been a Rams fan since the 1960s. Man, in the last video, a lot of fans from that era showed up, and I'm really happy to see everyone doing well and staying healthy. If possible, write this: Go Rams! My heart beats blue and white. Right now, fans are excited about the arrival of Myles Garrett, and Aaron Donald has once again become the center of attention for the Los Angeles Rams. Yes, my friends, this time the discussion is more heated than ever. What started as speculation quickly turned into one of the most talked about topics surrounding the team. According to comments circulating within the Rams community, Donald is reportedly very interested in the possibility of returning for one more season with the team, and one of the main reasons for that interest appears to be the arrival of Myles Garrett. That alone has completely changed the tone of the conversation. For a long time, jokes and theories about Aaron Donald making a return would pop up from time to time. Fans talked about it. Analysts mentioned it. People wondered whether there was any real chance that the future Hall of Famer would put the uniform back on and return to the field. Most of the time, those conversations stayed exactly where they started, as speculation. Now, however, the discussion feels different. One of the biggest reasons is the presence of Myles Garrett. The idea of Aaron Donald playing alongside Garrett immediately caught the attention of Rams fans. That doesn't mean I'm criticizing anyone who has already been part of the defense. In fact, there was a lot of excitement surrounding Jared Verse. Many people loved what Verse brought to the team and were excited about his future. At the same time, the arrival of Myles Garrett represents something unique. The argument being made is simple. Garrett is a different type of player. That is not meant to diminish anybody else. It is simply recognition of how talented Garrett is and the kind of impact he can have on a defense. The belief is that Garrett could be positioned for an even bigger season than many people already expect, with a stronger supporting cast around him, with other talented defenders creating opportunities, and with the possibility of the offense helping control possession and keeping the defense fresher throughout games. There is a growing belief that Garrett could reach another level. And then comes the question that has everyone talking. What if Aaron Donald is standing next to him? That possibility has fueled endless discussion because it creates a scenario where two elite defensive talents would be operating on the same unit. It is a thought that immediately captures the imagination of the fan base. Donald's last NFL season came in 2023. He played 16 games and recorded 8 sacks. Prior to that, injuries limited his availability in 2022 when he recorded 5 sacks. Looking at those numbers, some observers have wondered whether Donald felt it was the perfect moment to step away while still performing at a high level. For many athletes, one of the hardest decisions is determining when to retire. Some players continue playing until their production declines significantly. Others choose to walk away before that happens. There has been speculation that Donald may have preferred the second path, leaving the game before experiencing a major drop in performance. Since stepping away, he has remained active and continued training. Of course, there is a major difference between staying in shape and preparing for NFL football. Regular workouts are one thing. NFL conditioning is something entirely different. That means any potential return would require serious preparation. The discussion has also focused on something Donald himself has talked about before: the idea of needing that internal spark. The desire has to be there. The motivation has to return. The fire has to be reignited. That is why the current conversation has become so fascinating. If that spark truly returns, and if the opportunity to play alongside Myles Garrett helps create that motivation, then the speculation surrounding Donald's future will only continue to grow. As if the Donald discussion was not enough, another piece of news added fuel to the fire. reports surfaced that the Rams released defensive tackle Jalen Logan Redding. At first glance, this may not appear to be a major headline. Logan Redding was a recently signed, undrafted free agent who had only been with the organization for a short period of time. Many fans may not have been familiar with him. However, the position he plays immediately caught people's attention. Logan Redding is a defensive tackle. The moment news of his release became public, fans started connecting dots. Social media quickly filled with theories. The immediate reaction from some people was obvious. The Rams released a defensive tackle. Aaron Donald plays defensive tackle. Does that mean Donald is returning? The speculation exploded almost instantly. However, there is an important detail that cannot be ignored. The release of Logan Redding did not create a necessary roster spot for Aaron Donald. The Rams already had room available. There was no requirement to release Logan Redding in order to make space for Donald. There is also the salary cap aspect. According to the discussion surrounding the move, Logan Redding was not among the contracts impacting the top 51 salary cap calculation. As a result, releasing him did not create meaningful cap savings that would suddenly open the door for a major signing. That is why many observers believe the move should not automatically be interpreted as evidence that Donald's return is imminent. Could Donald still return? Absolutely. Does the release of Logan Redding prove that a return is happening? Not necessarily. Those are two completely different conversations. Still, the timing has made it impossible for Rams fans to ignore the possibility. And while Aaron Donald remains the biggest talking point, there is another storyline developing that could have major implications for the Rams' defense moving forward. The arrival of Myles Garrett is creating opportunities for several young defenders. In fact, there are 3 players in particular who could benefit enormously from Garrett's presence. The first player generating significant discussion is Braden Fisk. Looking back to 2024, there was tremendous excitement surrounding Fisk. Many believed he and Jared Verse were developing into the next major pass-rushing duo for the Rams. Fisk delivered an impressive rookie season. He recorded 51 pressures and 8.5 sacks, numbers that generated considerable optimism about his future. Then came 2025. While Fisk remained productive and continued contributing to the defense, the statistical drop was noticeable. He finished with 42 pressures and 3 sacks. The pressure numbers remained respectable. Creating pressure on opposing quarterbacks is valuable. Disrupting timing matters. Forcing quarterbacks into uncomfortable situations matters. But there is a difference between creating pressure and finishing plays. Sacks are game-changing plays. Negative yardage situations can completely alter a drive. That is where the discussion around Fisk becomes interesting. The belief is that Myles Garrett's arrival could create more favorable opportunities for him. Garrett is expected to command enormous attention from opposing offensive lines. Double teams will happen. Triple team situations could happen. Offensive coordinators will spend significant time building protection plans designed specifically to account for Garrett. Whenever that happens, opportunities open elsewhere. If multiple blockers are focused on one defender, someone else gains an advantage. That is the opportunity in front of Braden Fisk. The Rams already have other defenders capable of attracting attention. Kobe Turner is a player opponents must account for. Byron Young is another player who demands respect. Adding Garrett to that equation changes everything. The hope is that Fisk can take advantage of more one-on-one opportunities, convert pressures into sacks, and remind everyone why there was so much excitement surrounding him after his rookie campaign. There is also another factor worth mentioning. If Aaron Donald somehow returned, the opportunities for players like Fisk could become even greater. More attention would be spread across the defensive front, potentially creating even more favorable situations. That possibility remains purely speculative for now, but it helps explain why fans continue discussing these scenarios. The larger point is clear. Myles Garrett's presence has the potential to impact far more than just his own statistics. His arrival could influence the development and production of multiple young defenders across the roster. And that brings us back to the central question that continues dominating conversations around the Rams. How serious is Aaron Donald about returning? Right now, nobody can definitively answer that question. What we do know is that interest appears to exist. We know the idea of playing alongside Myles Garrett has become a major talking point. We know fans remain fascinated by the possibility. And we know every roster move, every report, and every comment is now being examined through that lens. The Rams' defense is already generating significant attention because of Garrett's arrival. If Donald were ever to return, the conversation would reach an entirely different level. For now, though, fans are left waiting, watching, and debating one of the biggest stories surrounding the franchise. What do you think about Aaron Donald's reported interest in returning? And how much of an impact do you believe Myles Garrett could have on the Rams' defense and the development of young players like Braden Fisk? Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and click the video on your screen. The latest Rams updates and breaking developments are right here, and you won't want to miss what's coming next.